Hey everybody, welcome to another model building workshop. I'm Mr. Allen and I am coming to you from the Smith Hill Library here in Providence, Rhode Island. This is the teen room and today we're going to be looking at this guy. This is the M151A2, which is the Ford MUTT, which was the replacement for the famous Jeep in the U.S. Armed Forces. This came out. This was in use like in Vietnam, and here we have it with the tow missile launcher and the M220 tracking system. So this is designed as a way of tackling armor on the battlefield in a cheap way from a Jeep. Prior to this design, they had recoilless rifles, like 105 and 106 millimeter guns, and then this is the tow missile system, which fires a missile which is wire guided, which goes right to the target. So that's what this is here. Let's take a look at the instruction sheet here. So this was released during the late 1970s. Yeah, the M151A2 was released during the late 1970s, and earlier versions were around in the 60s, and they did try out the tow missile system during Vietnam. And then the tow missile stands for Tube Launched Optically Tracked Wire Guided Missile System. So there's two versions you can build with this kit. They're minor differences, but one is for the U.S. Army and the other is for the United States Marine Corps. So we'll explain the differences, but it's mostly like with the exhaust and so forth for like amphibious or fording type situations. We'll look at that a little bit more here. So the instructions are the typical Tamiya fold-out version here, map-like. And there's a lot to do on this kit. So, as you can see, there's quite a bit of things to do. So you get a lot for your money. You can see there. The interior, the windshields. And as it goes, it explains differences for the different versions. Painting instructions for the uniform, if you choose to use the figures. You also have an option, if you want, to have the tow missile deployed on its tripod off the vehicle, if you'd like. It gives you the tripod to do so. Trying to find where it talks about the differences here. The two versions. Yeah, some different like snorkeling attachments, such as it is, which the Marine Corps would use. And then the painting instructions for the two versions are here, and they're rather intricate painting systems here. The markings are interesting. Where you have, for the Army version, you have a combination of like a red-brown, kind of a, yeah, like a light brown, a light tan, field gray, and black. And mixtures thereof there. And for the Marine Corps, it's like an olive green, diluted with some white, an olive green with khaki drab, and flat black. So, yeah, some intricate systems. There. Let's look at the parts. There is a decal sheet, which for the most part is kind of like stencil type information. There's not a lot for decals on this kit. Well, there's a lot, but it's not a lot of markings. It's all, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. There's no large stars or anything like that. It's all pretty much numbers and serial numbers and things of that nature. Anyway, so here's the equipment pretty much for the tow missile is here. And again, it's typical quality you would expect from Tamiya. Nicely molded. And then we get to the meat of the vehicle here. Because Tamiya makes different versions of the Ford MUTT. You know, they have, this one was the tow missile. There's another one that has a machine gun on the back instead, which you can see here. There's the machine gun is on this tree. So this is basically your pieces for the vehicle itself, so you get an idea of the scale of it here. So it's going to be able to fit in the palm of your hand for the most part. And we have this other one here that's got the wheels, jerry cans, the drivetrain, and your driver is on this one here, and the seats. So if there's a date. Yeah, the date for this kit is 1983. So this vehicle is popular, like it says, like pretty much the late 70s through the 80s. And then the Hummer or Humvee took over the role of the Jeep, you know, after that. So in Operation Desert Storm and the war against Iraq in 1991, we were on to the Humvee at that point, the Hummer. But some other countries, Middle Eastern countries, were still using these. I've seen photos, I think of like the Saudi Arabia and maybe Qatar, I'm not sure, using this. So there are other ways of painting this. If you go looking online, you can probably find desert versions, etc. So there are options out there. There's some other things that come along here. I thought this is interesting. There's a little warning sheet in here. Yeah, for polystyrene. This is to make sure to heat sprue that has the PS markings on it. Otherwise, other ones may generate poisonous gas if heated. So that's good to know. So this should be a code on the different sprues for which ones are okay. And then you get this Tech Tips fold out that comes with it, which is kind of fun and handy. So this kit is still around, and one thing that was attractive about it is the price, because I believe I picked this up at a local hobby shop for about $13. So it's a really good deal. It is a bit complicated to work with kids on this model. We did try a version of this here at our library's model building program. It was a little tough for the younger model builders because there's a lot to it. There's a lot of fiddly bits, and the suspension, putting some of that together was a little taxing. So just a heads up on that. But for an experienced model builder, this is not a bad kit at all. And I think what's going to be probably one of the most challenging things to do is to get that paint scheme with all those colors on such a small surface. But that's also the challenge, right? Okay, so that's today's model building workshop. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll check you on the next model building workshop. See you then. All right, bye now.